Will come to order. The Pledge of Allegiance this morning will be led by Co Gonzalez from Thomas Jefferson High School in Denver.
Will you please join me in the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which we stand, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Sir. Mr. Cole, please take the roll.
Representatives Becker. Buck.
Can we take a... Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Buckner. Conti. Corum. Court. Del Grosso. Dorr. Representative Dorr.
Absent.
Duran. Everett. Absent. Exum. Representative Exum. Present. Fields. Fisher. Foote. Garcia. Gardner. Giroux. Janal. Hamner. Holbert. Hollinghorse. Humphrey. Joshi. Kagan. Representative Kagan. Kagan. Absent. Kraft Tharp. Labuda. Representative Labuda. Present. Landgraf. Lawrence. Lebsock. Lee. May. McCann. McLaughlin. Representative McLaughlin. Absent. McNulty. Melton. Present. Mitch Bush. Moreno. Murray. Navarro. Nordberg. Pabon. Peniston. Pedersen. Primavera. I got you. Priola. Rankin. Rosenthal. Ryden. Sane. Salazar. Schaefer. Scott. Representative Kagan is present. Singer. Sonnenberg. Stevens. Swam. Zabo. Tyler. Vigil. Waller. Williams. Wilson. Wright. Young. Speaker Ferrandino. And McLaughlin.
With 63 members present, 2 absent, a quorum is present. Representative Nordberg.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that the reading of the Journal of Wednesday, January 9th be dispensed with and approved as corrected by the Chief Clerk.
You've heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. Nordberg, I reminded you, you should vote aye on your... Okay. All those opposed, no.
No!
Nordberg has it. The ayes have it. The motion is passed. Announcements and introductions. Representative Ryden.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, if I could have your attention for just a moment, please. Members, I don't know how many of you have had any senior moments recently. I had one yesterday. I forgot to talk about the flyer that was on your desk about the area agencies on aging. So I'm here today to remind you to look at this flyer, understand that you've got services in your district for our aging population, which now certainly includes some of us, and if you're lucky, everyone's going to get there one day. So I want you to understand and know that we have some really great services that are being offered to help people stay in their homes and have a full and satisfying life even when they're older. So just want to remind you, I'll be bringing you information once a week or once every 2 weeks this session to let you know what's happening in the area of aging. Thanks so much.
Representative Navarro and Tracy Kraft-Tharp.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, if I could have your attention for just a moment. This is the day that we stop and we honor our heroes.
Hold on one sec, Representative Kraft-Tharp.
It was such a good start.
I know. Members, can we pay attention to the well for a tribute?
And thank you, Mr. Speaker. So, members, this is the day that we take a moment to recognize our heroes that help us in our mental health field. Today, what we would like to do is we'd like to let you know who is here. And then we will be presenting a tribute to them today at their lunch. So today is Colorado Behavioral Healthcare Day, Healthcare Association Day. Just to remind you that over 20% of people in our community are suffering from mental illness. So let's just take that moment and welcome the Arapahoe Douglas Mental Health Network, the Asian Pacific Development Center, the Aurora Community Mental Health Center, Behavioral Health Incorporated, Boulder County Public Health Centennial Mental Health Center, Colorado Access, Colorado Reach Center, Foothills Behavioral Health Partners, Jefferson Center for Mental Health,
Mental Health Center of Denver, Mental Health Partners, Mindspring Health, North Range Behavioral Health, San Luis Valley Community Health, Signal Behavioral Health Network, Southeast Health Group, the Center for Mental Health, Touchstone Health Partners, Value Options, West Central Mental Health Center, Aspen Point Health District of Northern Larimer County. Thank you for joining us today at the state capitol, and hope you enjoy your day. Thank you.
Representative Primavera.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I just wanted to invite anyone who would like to attend that we are going to tour the Anschutz Medical Campus on Friday from 1 to 3. It's going to be a really interesting tour. We are going to tour a simulation lab which has bodies that really aren't human bodies, and they help medical students learn about different body processes. We are going to talk with someone from EMT. We're going to go to Children's Hospital, and then we're also going to tour the bioengineering program with Dr. Robin Shandis. And we're also going to talk a little bit about the new concept in personalized medication or personalized treatment. So if you'd like to go, please see me. I have a map, and you're welcome to come. Thank you.
Representative Janal.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I just wanted to make all members who are animal lovers aware of an event that's happening Monday. It's from 8 to 9, and it's being sponsored by the CSU, College of Veterinary Medicine Animal Cancer Center, Flint Animal Cancer Center, in conjunction with Anschutz Cancer Center. It's comparative oncology, and what we're doing at Colorado State University in conjunction with the Anschutz Medical Center. Please come by the old Supreme Court room at 8 to 9 and visit the folks who are involved in not only treating animals for cancer, but also how that goes to treating humans for their cancer issues. So I would ask for a visit and drop in and say hello, and for our friendly furry friends. Thanks.
Representative Garcia.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And there was an important group left out of the mental health group. It's the Spanish Peaks from Pueblo. So welcome.
Representative Wilson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I would like to introduce two folks over here on my right. Colleagues, if you could welcome Kay Martin, Chief of Operations from West Central Mental Health Center, and Gail Stoltzfus, Registered Nurse Board Member of West Central Mental Health Center and Director of Public Health from Custer County. Thank you for being here.
Representative Wilson, that'll be $4. Representative Priola.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, I need to be excused this afternoon for a family matter. I've spoken with the Speaker, Majority Leader, and Assistant Minority Leader.
Representative Priola will be excused as requested. I think Representative Sonnenberg is very happy about that. Representative Court.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I just want to give you the heads up that we had been planning the Ken Gordon Memorial for February 6th. That is going to have to be postponed until into March. So I know lots of us were looking at calendar rearrangements for the upon adjournment time on February 6th. That doesn't need to be rearranged for that reason. There may be other reasons, but not for that reasons. And we'll keep you posted. It'll be sometime in March. Thank you.
Representative Murray.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I request to be excused tomorrow. I've visited with the Majority Leader and the Minority Leader, and they have no problem with that.
Representative Murray will be excused as requested.
Thank you.
Representative Peniston.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It is Mental Health Day, colleagues, and in Adams County, we absolutely could not do without the services of our Community Reach organization. And here representing Community Reach of Adams County is Mr. Rick Doucette, the Executive Director, and several of the board members. Would they please stand and be acknowledged?
Representative Peniston, that will be $2. Members, just so you know, with the weather forecast, the mountains are supposed to get up to 30 inches, Boulder up to 10, Denver somewhere 5. For those members, especially outstate, who want to leave today after committees, Please feel free. We will be excused tomorrow if you need to go home for the weekend and want to get out early after your committee assignments today. We will assess this afternoon and tomorrow morning on if we will meet depending on the weather forecast for tomorrow. So metro area members, you are planning on being here tomorrow as of right now, but that could change. Further announcements and introductions. Madam Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm getting my $2 out. I would very much like to recognize the mental health partners of Boulder County, and there are several people here at the side sitting, and if they'd stand, I'd love to have you recognize the great work that they do.
You didn't introduce any individuals, so you're fine, Madam Majority Leader. Representative Mitch Bush.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd really like to recognize and appreciate the folks from Mindspring. As you know, the Western Slope is large, and their hearts and their minds are large, and they really do help all our people, not just in Eagle County and Routt County, but throughout the Western Slope. So thank you very much.
Representative Lee.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would also like to recognize and have the House recognize Aspen Point, the behavioral health care provider for El Paso County and Teller County, for the work that they do. They are an invaluable resource for mental health and substance abuse in our region. So thanks very much for being here.
Any further announcements or introductions? Representative, Mr. Assistant Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I ask permission to be excused tomorrow. I have spoken with the Majority Leader.
Representative Pabon, where will you be that you won't be here? May you be on a plane somewhere towards the East Coast? Wish our team well while you're there, and make sure you're hoarse by the time you get back. Okay, any other announcements? Representative Becker.
And I would just like to recognize the good folks from Jefferson Center for Mental Health that made it down here today. You want to stand up and wave? Yay!
Okay, seeing no further announcements or introductions, we will move to our next order of business, third reading of bills, final passage. Members, please return to your desk, and sergeants, find the members who are loitering other places. Mr. Kohler, please read the title of the House Bill 1005.
House Bill 1005, Representatives Sonnenberg and Young, also Senator Lundberg, concerning clarification of the requirements applicable to a change of point of water diversion.
Madam Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move for the adoption of House Bill 1005 on third reading and final passage.
Seeing no discussion, the question for the House is the passage of House Bill 1005 on third reading and final passage. Mr. Kohler, please open the machine and members proceed to vote. Representatives Rosenthal and Scott. Close the machine. With 61 aye votes, 2 no votes, 1 excused, and 1 absent, House Bill 1005 is passed. Co-sponsors. I was going to say, no one really likes you, Representative Sonnenberg. No one's co-sponsoring. Close the machine. Mr. Kohler, please read the title of House Bill 1164.
House Bill 1164, Representatives Hollinghorst and Murray.
That's.
All right. Hollinghorst and Murray, also Senator Uleberry, concerning nonpartisan elections not coordinated by a county clerk and recorder in connection with creating the Colorado Local Government Election Code for the conduct of such elections by special districts, harmonizing residency requirements for voter registration, modifying the Colorado Municipal Election Code 1965, and clarifying when elections are coordinated by county clerk and recorders.
We're at Madam Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move for the adoption of House Bill 1164 on third reading and final passage.
Seeing no discussion, the question for the House is the passage of House Bill 1164 on third reading and final passage. Mr. Kohler, please open the machine and members proceed to vote. Representatives McNulty, Scott, and Singer. Representative McNulty is excused, as he requested a 21C yesterday. Close the machine. With 37 aye votes, 25 no votes, 2 excused, and 1 absent, House Bill 1164 is passed. Co-sponsors. Close the machine. Representative Murray.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I respectfully ask my name to be removed as a sponsor on this bill.
Representative Murray's name will be removed as a co-sponsor, co-prime sponsor of House Bill 1164. We will move to our next order of business, general order, second reading of bills. Representative Kraftart. You've heard the motion. Seeing no objection, the House will resolve itself to the committee of the whole for consideration of general orders. Representative Kraft-Tharp will take the chair.
The committee will come to order. With your unanimous consent, the bills will be read by title unless there is a request for reading a bill at length. Committee amendments will not be read unless requested, as they are printed and in your bill folders. Floor amendments will be shown on the screen and not read unless requested. Bills will be laid over upon motion of the Majority Leader and members. The court rule is relaxed. Even you, Mr. Kohler? Mr. Kohler, please read the title of House Bill 1026.
House Bill 1026, Representative Fisher, Senator Schwartz, concerning the authorization of flexible water markets.
Thank you. Representative Fisher.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I move House Bill 1026 and the report from the Committee on Agriculture, Livestock, and Natural Resources.
Thank you, Representative. Please proceed with the committee report.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I ask for an adoption of the committee report. The committee report consists of an amendment that was drafted with the help of the Water Congress and helps to clarify that the intent of this bill is to not permanently fallow agricultural lands, but to really narrowly limit the usefulness of the flex water market concept to no more than 3 years of fallowing, consecutive years, in which case, the water has to stay in agricultural production. And I ask for an aye vote.
Thank you, Representative. Members, is there any further discussion on the committee report? Representative McNulty? No? Okay. Seeing no further discussion, the question before us is the passage of the committee report. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. The committee report passes. Representative Fisher, to the bill.
Thank you, Madam Chair. House Bill 1026 is the result of work that was done in the Interim Water Review Committee this year. It was worked on extensively with the Colorado Water Congress. The Water Congress voted unanimously to support the bill. The bill does is creates a new type of water right that would be called a flex right, in which, and this would be a water court process. It wouldn't be something that would be simply approved by the state engineer or the Colorado Water Conservation Board, but would go through the water court process. But the decree would state that the use of the water could be for multiple purposes and therefore flexible use. And the idea here is to give farmers and ranchers who hold water rights the ability to wheel their water into other uses and create economic value for agriculture, and to also ensure that farmers and ranchers are more likely to keep their water in agriculture than selling it for municipal and industrial uses. So I ask for an aye vote. Thank you.
Thank you. Representative Coram.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And I was in opposition of this bill in committee. And I really feel that with all the water issues we're talking about a Colorado water plan, that we might be getting the cart before the horse here, and I think it's one of those things that maybe we just need to set back and wait and see where this goes. You know, when we take water off the land, even for 1 year, it's very detrimental to a community. That farmer personally is fine, but if he's on a ditch that water has been taken out, even though for 1 year, it affects the percentage of water going down that district, and therefore all the farmers below it are affected. And frankly, in many cases, that is very difficult because they may not know that water is going to be diverted to another use, and so they may plan accordingly, and all of a sudden they find out that there's a water shortage that they had not planned on. So I think this is, in principle, is a good idea, but it may be ahead of its time. So thank you.
Thank you, Representative. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, members, the question before us is the passage of House Bill 1026. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. House Bill 1026 passes. What? As amended. Mr. Kohler, please read the title of House Bill 1052.
House Bill 1052, Representative Fisher, also Senator Jones, concerning increasing the enforcement authority of groundwater management districts.
Thank you. Representative Fisher.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I move House Bill 1052. There is no committee report.
Please proceed, Representative.
Thank you, Madam Chair. 1052 really just is a clarification more than anything of what the role and responsibility of groundwater management districts is in state statute. And so it's really just a simple clarification that allows them to, gives them the authority that I think they already have to enforce district rules and regulations. And it came out of the Agriculture Committee this week, and I asked for an aye vote.
Thank you. Representative Sonnenberg.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Members, this may be a clarification, but it's a clarification of a bill or a statute that's been on the books for 50 years. There was a reason they were left out of this mix. Whatever that reason is, I could guess, that's what it would be a guess. But understand that the state engineer and the Groundwater Commission already have the authority to enforce rules. Yes, you have to go to court. Now, there's a certain segment of this bill that I can agree with if we narrowed it to that scope with regard to export of water out of a basin. That is an issue. It's an issue that needs to be dealt with because it damages other people in the basin. What I don't want to see happen, and this bill authorizes, is Farmer A can go after Farmer B because he may have pumped and levy fines that are unlimited. There needs to be recourse. We have that recourse within the state engineer's office and the Groundwater Commission. That goes too far with this bill. If you want to deal solely with the export section of this, I'm all in. But as it sits right now, I have to be a no, and I urge a no vote for you. This will pit farmer against farmer. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, the question before us is the passage of House Bill 1052. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. No. House Bill 1052 passes. Mr. Kohler, please read the title of House Bill 1024.
House Bill 1024, Representative Murray, also Senator Schwartz, concerning the designation of the King Cup cactus as a state cactus.
An important bill. Thank you, Representative Murray.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move House Bill 1024 and the committee report.
Thank you, Representative. To the committee report.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The importance of the public process was brought to the fore as we were naming our state cactus. And we determined that after some of the reactions that we received from the cactus societies around the state, they determined that kingcup was not the most commonly used name for this particular cactus. And I'm sorry, I'm not going to say the scientific name. It's too difficult for me to say. So in committee, we amended it from the kingcup cactus to the claret cup cactus, which is commonly what people in Colorado will call this particular cactus. And that is what is in the committee report. I urge an aye vote.
Thank you, Representative. Members, is there any further discussion on the committee report? Representative Gardner? Oh, Representative Labuda.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just want to let you know that we had a great presentation in the committee by Girl Scout Troop
2518.
2518. I forget the numbers. And they wholly supported this change, and they showed us beautiful pictures of the cactus, and it should be claret cactus indeed, rather than kingcup. So I urge an aye vote on the committee report.
Thank you, Representative Labuda. Representative Murray, do we have something we're going to be demonstrating here?
Yes, Madam Chair, we're going to have a picture of the kingcup cactus.
So members...
Isn't it beautiful? Claret cup, it is claret cup.
The claret cup cactus. Thank you, Representative Murray. Do we have further discussion? Representative Coram.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Representative Murray, I appreciate you bringing this bill, but to someone who spends a lot of time on horseback out in the open range, I assure you this is not what they are called.
And thank you for sharing the rural perspective, Representative Coram. Representative Court.
Thank you, Madam Chair. You know, we giggle about these kinds of bills and we say, oh, you know, the state this and the state that. But you know where a lot of these come from? It comes from the kids. And I think it's a wonderful lesson in our democracy that children learn the opportunity to participate and how this all is done. So I applaud Representative Murray for encouraging kids to get involved early, because this helps them become the citizens we know they're going to be, and they'll understand the process. So I encourage a yes vote.
Thank you, Representative Court. Members, to remind you, we still are on the committee report. Do we have any further discussion on the committee report? Seeing none, members, the question before us is the passage of the committee report. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. The committee report passes. Representative Murray to the bill.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We will continue on this prickly issue.
Thank you, Representative Murray.
Now, here is a little background on this particular cactus. I will tell you which counties that it can be found in, and then we'll talk about the reality of where our various flowers and symbols grow in the state, and why we should continue to name something that doesn't necessarily live in every county of the state. So it is found naturally in El Paso, Pueblo, Fremont, Custer, Sawash, Alamosa, Castilla, Conejos, Archuleta, Gunnison, La Plata, Montezuma, Dolores, San Miguel, Ouray, Montrose, Delta, Mesa, Garfield, and Moffett. And what I would compare this to is our state flower, which is a columbine. It doesn't naturally grow, for instance, along the Front Range or on the Eastern Plains, but it can be propagated and grown in those areas. It naturally grows in mountain areas. So we think that these particular counties are so representative, perfectly representative of an area where cactus should be growing, and yet, if you want to put them in your cactus garden on the Front Range or on the Eastern Plains, it will grow there. So it's also present a little bit in Rio Blanco, San Juan, Hinsdale, Mineral, and Rio Grande. And one of its features is it really attracts hummingbirds and bees. And it's a very popular selection in cactus collections and rock gardens. The claret cup is a wonderful plant for any xeriscape garden in Denver or elsewhere in Colorado due to its toughness and beautiful flowers. It's easy to grow in cultivation and is not endangered or imperiled in the wild. People won't go out to illegally collect it due to its wide availability commercially. And this was a very important feature that we needed to be sure was in place for this cactus. We want our Denver Botanic Gardens and our nurseries around the state to be able to proudly carry this cactus, to put up signs saying this is our state cactus, for people to increase the growing of this cactus in the state in their rock gardens rather than them feeling that they have to go to get it illegally. It's a naturally occurring spineless form that was found in Colorado. A different form was found in Colorado and is also widely available in local nurseries and makes for a great plant for people who don't like spines on their cactus. I urge and I vote for naming the claret cup cactus our state cactus.
Thank you, Representative Murray. Mr. Minority Leader.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And despite Representative Corum's attempt to make this a more prickly bill than it has to be, I urge and I vote as well.
Thank you so much, Mr. Minority Leader. Representative Riden.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And being chair of the State Veterans and Military Affairs Committee, it was our pleasure to hear this bill. And what I did not realize until Representative Corum made the comment was that this is really an economic development tool. Now that we will have a state cactus, everyone will want this cactus in their rock gardens, and Representative Corum can start digging them up and putting them on the market. So it's really a boon to everyone. Vote yes.
Thank you. Representative Gardner.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Well, I remember many years ago, before I was a member of this very important and august body, being very critical of one of our prominent state senators for declaring a state dance. I thought they had better things to do, but now that I'm here, I realize we don't have better things to do. Or as someone pointed out, the distinguished, well, I'll just say someone in leadership said we passed two very important water bills and now we're going to spend time on the cactus. I think we ought to consider making it a felony to, you know, somehow mess with this cactus, because it sounds like Representative Corum has no respect for what's about to be our state cactus. Really, my core concern here is that if we make a state cactus, I think we're done. I thought we were done before. I think we'll be down to the state bacteria and state virus. Perhaps H1N1 will be the state virus, as it seems to be more prominent than the king cup cactus. But I will be and would be much more inclined on third reading, Representative Murray, to vote for this bill if you would pen an ode to the king cup cactus between now and third reading. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Gardner. Representative Holbert. Oh, Representative Murray.
Thank you,
if you'd
Madam
like to
Chair.
respond.
Representative Gardner, I would be delighted to pen an ode, but it will be to the claret cup cactus, not to the king cup cactus. And I would like to point out the fact that we all realize we are a semi-arid state, and there are many people, perhaps in the Midwest and the East, that don't realize that. So I think that by having a state cactus, we are making a statement to those on the outside for them to understand the nature of our state. Plus, I'm a great one to save water, and we want to be proud of our cactus gardens and say to people it's a good thing to have a cactus garden, perhaps instead of something else that might require more water. So let's be proud of our state as a semi-arid here at State and be proud of having a state cactus.
Thank you, Representative Murray, for bringing us back on track. Representative Holbert.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and I appreciate the humor, but there is a serious issue that we need to take into consideration here. Yesterday, we had a bill that some of us felt was being pushed through and accelerated. There's no reason that we can't take our time and give this careful thought. There's no reason that we have to do this bill today. We could always do it tomorrow, because when it comes to cactus, we all know that saguaro, saguaro, there's always saguaro.
I think I do have the capability of being able to fine you, Representative Holbert. Thank you. Members, or gavel. Members, is there any further discussion, Representative Murray? Okay. Representative Murray.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm so proud of Representative Holbert. Thank you so much. Well, I want to thank our Girl Scout troop in Castle Rock, also the Denver Botanic Garden. They were active in helping us with this project, and I have to include the fact that my daughter works for the Botanic Gardens, and she testified at the hearing, and so we received a thorough understanding of the place of the cactus within our state. I also want to point out that we have a Colorado Cactus and Succulent Society, and those were the people that pointed out to us that Claret Cup would be the more appropriate name. So we are grateful that they entered into this process. And in closing, what I want to say is the Claret Cup cactus, it weathers frigid temperatures in the winter and dry heat in the summer, and blasting winds any time of the year. Now, doesn't that sound like a Coloradan to you? I urge your aye vote.
Thank you, Representative Murray. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none. Members, the question before us is the passage of House Bill 1024. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Members, congratulations. We do have a new state cactus. House Bill 1024 passes. What? Madam Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move that the committee rise and report.
You have heard the motion. Seeing no objection, the committee will rise and report.
The House will come back to order. Mr. Kohler, please read the report of the Committee of the Whole.
Mr. Speaker.
With the mic on, please, Representative Mr. Kohler.
Mr. Speaker, Committee of the Whole begs leave to report as under consideration following attached bills being segregated thereof and makes following recommendations thereon. House Bills 1024 amended, 1026 amended, 1052 passed on second reading in order to gross placed on the calendar for third and final passage.
Representative Kraft Tharp. You've heard the motion. There are amendments. No, there are not. At the desk. Mr. Kohler, please open the machine, and members proceed to vote on adoption of the report of the Committee of the Whole. To move our state cactus one step forward. Representatives Conti, Court, Everett, Lee, Priola, Moreno, and Stevens. Close the machine. With 64 aye votes, 0 no votes, 1 excused, and 0 absent, the report of the Committee of the Whole is adopted. Members, remember, if we are here tomorrow and you are wearing orange and blue, you have a relaxed dress code. Not completely relaxed. You still have to look somewhat professional. And if you are wearing Seahawks colors, you'll be barred from the chamber. Even staff. Joel, oh. You can still wear jeans tomorrow if you are wearing a Broncos outfit. Representative Holbert.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would suggest that anyone wearing Seahawks garb be required to wear hip waders and an umbrella hat as well.
I think that's exactly correct. Thank you, Representative Holbert. Representative Tyler.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Transportation and Energy Committee, meeting upon adjournment today, will meet at 10 after 10. 10 after 10, please. Thank you.
Representative Singer.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. House Local Governments meeting as soon as we're adjourned here, we'll be down in room 107 in 10 minutes following that. So see you in a few.
Representative Court.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Okay, Finance Committee, we have our joint meeting with the Senate for our wonderful JBC presentation. So please, let's get on over there by 10 after. I hope that gives us enough time. So we'll get it done.
Madam Chairwoman of the all-powerful JBC.
All powerful.
It's a team effort. Take 6. So members, also please just remember to bring your lavender book, your budget briefing book, to the Finance Committee, and we look forward to having that conversation.
10 after. Thanks.
Seeing no other announcements, introductions, members, just pay attention to calls and emails about tomorrow's schedule, if we will be here or not. And if you are going to leave early, if you can make sure to just let the front desk know that you won't be here tomorrow, so we just have that. That would be appreciated if you are not going to be here tomorrow due to the weather. For non-Metro members. Okay, Madam Majority Leader, or someone else to put us in recess. Representative Fisher, can you put us in recess till 1?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that the House stand in recess until 1 p.m. today.
Seeing no objection, the House will stay in recess until 1 p.m. today. Members, you need to be back tomorrow at 9 a.m. unless I tell you otherwise.